All right, yeah. So I woke up this morning and was scrolling through Facebook. I made a habit of social media, man, because I was living in a village at one point in my life, and nobody spoke English. So the only connection I had to like speaking English was through social media. So that's how I got into social media. But I was never this social media type of guy before. But so I was scrolling through social media, scrolling through Facebook, and I seen this thing that says something along the lines of like support sex work, like support sex workers, support escorts, blah blah. And I agree. I think sex work should be supported. I totally agree. But see, the problem with that is being in America, which I'm getting ready to leave soon. Being in America, like American women just can't handle that. Like that is just too much for them because, like at this point, they have been so conditioned. Like the American women have been just so they've been so conditioned to like be entitled to something simply because they're a woman that I mean, and it's simply because being a woman equals, having a vagina and boobs. So, like, once that legalized competition comes in, let's just be real about it. That's going to be cheaper in the long run than dealing with an actual woman. Like, it would just destroy American women. It really with Western women, it would just destroy their whole value system that they've had built up for the last what at least for like the last 30 years has been like really what I say last 20, 30 years has been like noticeably bad type of thing. Um because and what I named this video women dealing with rejection, like this is another part that this is particularly specifically for men who maybe just are just lost in the world and they need some guidance on how to deal with women. Like this is going to be another part that is hard to watch because I mean not hard to watch, but maybe it may be kind of difficult to explain because it's one of those things you really only like you only learn from just experience of dealing with it like in real time. Like maybe it's like the same thing like you can learn how to box in a practice boxing ring against a heavy bag, but you get in a legit ring where somebody's hitting you back and it's you just gonna think and panic. And I think this is kind of the same thing, like when you got to deal with women, like when you get in the actual ring, most guys, they'll know what it is, but when they get in the ring, they'll just, panic and go back to whatever they thought they knew. So like one big thing, like how I learned to get okay, one big thing to get women's attention is this, man. Okay, whichever one you want, and this is going to sound very difficult. This may be very difficult to understand. Um, and I actually got this originally from a movie. I think it was like Crazy Stupid Love or something like that, or it was some like borderline chick flick type of movie. And the dude said, okay, he points to this table full of like 3 or 4 women, right? And he said, which one do you actually want? And then the dude said, like the blonde. And he goes, okay, don't pay any attention to her. Give all the attention to all the other girls except her, and that's how you're gonna get the blonde. And that's real. That's real. That is legit advice. That is how it works. The one that you want, don't pay her any attention. Don't pay the one that's like okay, like like you wouldn't mind dealing with her type of thing. Like she's not really your type, but she's not bad. If they're together, don't pay attention to the one you want because see the one you want that's gonna humble her. The fact that you're not talking to her. She's not going to be put up on she's not putting herself on a pedestal. See, like it's okay. And that scenario kind of goes in hand with what I say, like women dealing with rejection. Women don't know. And this is going back to that prostitute thing, the sex worker thing. Women's brains do not know that they're not wired to deal with rejection on any level. They just learn how to hide it better. Like, oh, I'm a tough girl, blah blah. But they really don't know. Like they don't know how to they really don't know how to deal with rejection at all. Because what happens is see in their brain, what really happens is when that rejection comes or when that sunlight goes down, their instincts tell them I should go seek out a strong man to come fix it. Like that's what it really leads to. They don't want to admit it, but that is the honest truth. I'm telling you, that is the truth. That is what they're see when you get them alone in rooms and then when they start drinking, see all this is gonna come out. Like, I already know it just from watching them for the last 15 years. But it's like they'll actually start verbalizing it when you get them alone and get them drinking wine and get them talking about it. Oh yeah, it's the same thing every time. You see, now going back to the sex work thing, women do not. Okay, first off, and this, and I'll go ahead and generalize every female with this theory, with this logic. Actually, no, there is no woman knows how to deal with the word no. True, like on a truly internal level. They know how to fake it, like, oh, I respect your opinion, blah, blah, blah. But really deep, they don't know how, like they just, like, their brain literally implodes on itself if they're ever told no or inferred no. Like, this is why I say, like, in a dating scenario, that's how you get that girl, because she's been inferred no, which took her down 4 or 5 levels from where she would have been had you went over there and just start worshiping her. You start worshiping her, she'd boost herself, up to 10, 20 higher levels. But the fact that you see, like, the fact that you go over there and you talk to the one that is clear not the prettiest one, and you pay her attention, see, that's inferring the beautiful one that she's being told no, that she's not desirable, since you didn't go over there and talk to her first, and it brought her to, it's on what every time it's gonna bring her down some notches. And now she's gonna know how to act like a decent, like a relatively decent human at this point. But yeah, there is not a woman on this planet who can deal with being told no, like a true adult. There is not a one, not a. Though you might get lucky, you might find that one who's like used to being told no, and she could rationalize with it better and to just kind of move on from it because she's just been used to hearing it so many times in her life. That does happen, but for the most part, overall speaking, no, you will not find a woman who can handle either being told no to her face or being inferred no. And also the other thing is that the reason why sex work is never going to work in westernized countries is because women hate any type of competition. This goes back to my previous video. The reason why you'll never see Beyonce in a video with Precious, or Precious taking a picture with Beyonce, because the competition, like they don't hang around. Like, those are two different physical quality types of women. They not gonna hang out around each other because the competition's gonna combat that and spread them out. Like, they don't do, like, they brains just are not wired like that. Like, you have to look at them like they're animals and watch them. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's some things they just don't do. Like, dogs don't put other dogs on their back and carry them somewhere. You see that dogs just don't do that. You might find anomalies of a dog that might pick a dog up and put it on another dog's back and they carry the dog somewhere. You might find an anomaly of it happening, like, 1 out of every 20 times, on the right day type of thing. But it's not going to happen you're not going to consistently see that. It's the same thing with women. Like, they're like dogs. Like, you have to watch them and watch what they do. And it's a very brutal truth. Once you watch them like they're an animal, and you watch like their habits, don't just like ignore the habits because they're a little physically cute. You got to like watch them, like study them, like they're a dog. Like, study them like they're an animal. And you're one of people shooting a documentary on animals. Like, that's how you got to look at them. Yeah. See, women hate any type of competition. This is why, okay, like I said in the last video, go on any of your Facebook friends and all the females friends and look at all her female friends. And I guarantee you, most, if not all, are going to be right on par at the same level they are. If they're like a 7 out of 10, most of them be between 6 and 7.5. If she's a 5 out of 10, most of her friends are going to be between, most of the friends list is pretty much going to go along lines with 4s to 5s and a halves. Like, now, and then they'll check out like one who's like a 9 or a 10. I highly doubt you're going to find many of them, if any, that are going to be like 2s, 3s, and 4s out of 10. That they're going to be like, that she has, if you could check what friends she has. They don't roll like that. Now, if you were to legalize prostitution in America, women would lose their minds because what they've been programmed to believe that they have to offer the world is now just a super readily accessible commodity. If you just got an extra $40, you can just go buy it legally. Oh, it would destroy their whole market. It would destroy it. Not only that, it would then destroy like the actual like U.S. market of like of just money, because why do people buy nicer cars? Why do they buy nicer houses? Why do men buy nicer clothes? To impress women. So if it got to a point where, oh, I don't got to impress a woman now, I could just go to this brothel and spend $50, $100 whenever I feel like it, and I don't even got to dress up or nothing. Where's a man gonna start going? They gonna take the easier way out. But see, as long as that's illegal, it keeps more money flowing, because everybody knows the cheapest woman you ever gonna have in your life is the one you pay for first. That's gonna be the cheapest one on an overall level, mentally and financially. That's gonna be the cheapest woman you're gonna have ever. So yeah, that's where like that's where like sex work will never make it in America, because we've just been so beat down and pretty much institutionalized that glimpse of freedom and anything is just too much. It's too much for especially for the females to handle. Women, they would literally implode. Their existence would have no meaning at this point for the most part. At least to get into a relationship, they would have no logic in how to even get into a relationship. It would just throw, if sex work was legal in America, like on a countrywide base, not just like some little random ranch in the middle of Nevada, but like if it was like going to buy cigarettes type of thing, it would just women's mentality. Insane. Insane. Medical asylums I would invest in medical asylums if that were ever to happen. I don't know if you can, but I would totally invest in mental asylums and cat food if sex work ever became nationally normalized in America. Though those are my first two places. I would just hand them money. Like, here, just give me 20% back for the next 5 years. I will be a billionaire, son. Like, for real, man. Yeah, because they like, you know what I do just for fun? Just for fun, man. I just like to reject women just for fun, just to tell them no. Just, it don't even matter what it is, because I know their nature. Just tell them, no. Just no. I do it just for fun. I went to a strip club a while back, man. Like, I don't like strip clubs because I think the whole thing is a joke, personally. And I tell you why, because I got too used to brothels in Europe, which are really nice. I thought they'd be disgusting, but they're actually the complete opposite. They're, immaculate, but not immaculate, but they're very, very clean, and with beautiful women. Now, with strip clubs are just like softcore porn to me at this point. I think they're just complete jokes. It's just laughable at best. And I went to one down the street. Well, I live in a pretty nice area in America, and there's one like oddly like right down the street. And the women are not bad. Look, a lot of women are not bad looking in there. You're always going to have your one or twos that probably paid to get up in there to fulfill her washed up dream of what she used to be. But most of them were decent looking. And like I remember one girl specifically, she came up behind me, started rubbing me. I was like, "Oh, don't touch me!" And just to look at her face, like because in America, okay, if you're watching this and you're not from America, like you gotta know, like men here are pathetic for the most part. Like if a woman just like touches them, they view that as like a win type of thing. Like, so I like to just shut down women at this point. Like I like to just reject them or just pretend I'm grossed out by them. Even if I do like them for real, just like, ugh. You know what I'm saying? Just do that because the women here, they're just not used to a man having any type of standards, you see, unless they're like 400 pounds or something like that. The women here are not used to men having any standards. So when a guy like me comes in there and shows some sense of like having some requirements, their brain just like, you can just watch their face just go down like, but you're supposed to like me because I'm a woman. Like you could just watch it like within 5 seconds. It's like just melted lava just got poured over a face and it just goes there. Because she's used to like, yeah, I'm a woman, so I can just touch anybody I want to. Yeah, I can just walk up and do whatever I like. One girl, she tried to put my hat on. I got this gangster ass fucking, hold on. I was wearing this hat with a suit. That's just how I do, man. Just kick it. Right? I was just sitting there chilling. And she comes and takes the hat and puts it on. I'm like, ugh, I mean, took it off her head. Like, you put my hat on, you fucking I don't know who'd have been touching you. You know what I'm saying? You think you just gonna walk over and just put my hat on? Like, no. But it's funny because it always ends up being funny because like I said, the women here, they're not used to men telling them no, especially if they look good. They've probably never been told no a day in their life. So they're not used to it. See, like, and now if you from over there in Europe, or I even say like down South America, like if you a man watching this, like women are used to being told no there. Like it's not a big deal. But with these American men, like American men are so beat down, they don't know how to even tell a woman no. So like women don't even know how to deal with it. So like when I do it, they just like their whole existence and self-esteem and everything is just so it's just shot. It's just run over. Like they just don't know what to do. But they're so hurt because so what happens is with these American women, like when you reject them, like women dealing with rejection. I should have named this Western women dealing with rejection. When you tell them no, like what happened? Well, no, and this is kind of the same for women are everywhere, but I'm just focusing on American women. When you tell her no, just tell her no for anything. What that does is it starts a chain reaction in their brains, right? Because it works against their need to pleasure something. Because every woman has a genuine need to please a man. It's just in them. It's like dogs want to please, their masters. I'm not saying like you're her master, but it's like it's just their nature. Every woman's nature. So once she's realized, especially if she's a hot girl, like big boobs, nice butt, and all that stuff, if she's a hot girl and you still told her no, well, her brain, see, the fact that she knows she's good looking on top of her need to have to please you, what that does in her brain, it goes, oh, well, do you think I'm not good enough? So what happens is she must stay around you longer now. You see what I'm saying? Like she must stay there. It turns into a sunk cost fallacy. I don't know if you guys ever read into fallacies, but it turns into a sunk cost fallacy. It's almost the same. Okay, the sunk cost fallacy in theory is okay. Let's say you bought this like piece of junk car for like $800 and it keeps breaking down, right? And you just keep pouring more money into it. Every month you got to spend you got to fix the alternator, you got to fix the brake lines, you got to fix every 2 weeks to a month you got to keep doing it. So what the sunk cost fallacy is see, instead of you realizing that this is not going to get better, um you're more focusing on the fact that you've already done all this work and put all this work into it. So you might as well just keep riding it out. That's the sunk cost fallacy. That now people who are aware of the sunk cost fallacy, maybe they don't know like the actual word or the actual definition, but they just realize it in reality. Like, okay, yeah, like this car is a piece of junk. It's just going to keep taking more money out of my pocket, so I'll just throw it away. People who are aware of it will just throw it away. But people who are not aware of it, they'll fall into that, well, I put all this effort into it, so I'll just keep riding out because I don't want to feel like all that effort I put into it was for nothing. I know probably talk fast if anybody's even still watching, but I hope that made sense. But so yeah, that's pretty much what the a female's brain pretty much immediately dives into sunk cost fallacy at this point. Because like the women's brains, like they're more impulsive on emotions, you see, and you've attacked her on a personally emotional level of her ability to please you. You've attacked that point, so now it's immediately fallen into a sunk cost fallacy, and now you can't get her away from you. You see, once you do, I remember I did this to a girl, to a buddy of mine. We was in Czech Republic, man, and he was hitting on this is a perfect example. He was hitting on this girl sunk cost, and the girl clearly didn't like him, right? The girl was like going off and was all up in these other two dudes' faces, and it would come back to him and have him buy her like water, drinks, and stuff like that. So I seen it happen about 2 or 3 times. I went over to the girl. I said, "No, he's not buying you anything. Go over there and have them other 2 men buy you something. Goodbye." And it's like legit, like stiff armed her ass off. Guess who kept following us around the club for the rest of the night? Because you told her no. You see what I'm saying? That when you tell them no, okay, one of 2 things is going to happen. Either one, it's going to initiate the sunk cost fallacies, SUNK, and then COST fallacy. It's usually either going to initiate that, no, maybe three things. It's going to initiate the sunk cost fallacy, and then you can't get rid of her. Two, she's just going to be so shocked and scared, she's going to get up and run away. But she's going to have respect for you. So if she ever comes across you or sees you again, she's going to respect you. You see what I'm saying? She's not even going to think to treat you some crazy way again. Or three, um, she'll be so just caught up in herself that she'll just run to another man for validation, and just to forget getting rejected. Those are usually the three areas that'll happen once you tell a woman no. And I know, like, when I was younger, man, I was that pathetic dude, man. I just was that pathetic guy. I would not tell a woman no. Couldn't imagine telling a woman no. Because, like I say, because I grew up in North America, we grew up to be pathetic and weak with women. It's just how we were. It's just how we are. A woman is very rarely ever wrong. Anything she does is because you did it. That's just how we were institutionalized. I was totally that guy. But like the first time, if you're younger, and I hope younger guys are watching this, man, the first time you try it is gonna like scare you because you just don't know the outcome of it, and it's going to be scary the first time. The first time you tell a woman no, like especially if she's hot. But I mean, but that is my advice across the board with them. Like pretty much, the hotter she is, the more she gets told no, and let her go. Just let her go. Because what that does. Okay, see the fact when you just okay, if you can tell them no and then just let them go. See, it works the complete opposite in reality is what most guys are going to think in their head immediately. See, because most guys are thinking immediately what happened is, oh, if I let her go, she's not going to know that I like her and she'll never come back. You see, and that's a logical conclusion to a man who's never ventured off in that other side of the world of the interpersonal dating or whatever, the social world. Now, the older guys are guys who've experienced, they know what this does in the long run. See, you tell her no and you let her go. See, the fact that this is how, because a woman's mind, it works, it's pretty much the complete opposite from a man's. Okay, when you let her go and you not calling her, you not texting her, nothing like that, and you just leave it up to chance the next time you meet her again, bump into her at a grocery store or something like that. See, what that tells her is that you must be worth something. Okay, if you can just let her go like that and don't care about her, don't call her, you must be worth something. And either one, two things, either you got something better than her sitting somewhere, or you just worth something to the point where like you just don't care. You like, but the long story short is that guy must be worth something. The fact that he just let me go and didn't care. You see, first that guy who would have came back and chased her. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you. Blah blah. Blah. See, that guy's not worth anything if he's got to do that in that immediate scenario. Because it's the same. Okay, because it kind of this may sound a little shifting, but it's the same thing. Like, okay, notice. See, when you get a girlfriend, then now all of a sudden all these women will start liking you. You see. But when you didn't have a girlfriend, you couldn't find a woman to pay you any attention because women want things that are already valuable. You see, they don't want anything. See, I mean, once they get older, they'll kind of want things that, they might have to work on, especially when they hit like 30, 32, and now they want kids. They'll deal with that. Oh, well, he's a work in progress. Yeah, once they get older and they can't. But when they're in their prime, look, they want a guy who's already worth. Well, okay, all of them. They really want a guy who's already worth something. See, especially in their prime, because they know they can actually probably get it in their prime. But they want a guy who's already worth something. You see, so when you're walking around single, no girlfriend, probably not dressing well, look like you got low self-esteem, ain't really doing nothing with your life, you can't find a woman. Can't find unless she has low self-esteem. You have a hard time finding a woman. Now watch, the second you start walking around with another woman, now other girls will start paying you attention. Why? Because they figure, oh, he must be worth something because this girl's walking next to him. You see? That's what it's about. That's the whole game of it. That's the core of it. But like I said, but to get to that point, like, see, you got like even if you ain't got nothing lined up, even if you sitting at home chilling by yourself, just tell them no. You know what I'm saying? See, if you ain't got nothing, listen, you can be the loneliest man on the planet. Learn how to let them go. Tell them no and learn how to let them go. And I guarantee you, okay, they're gonna have a whole lot more respect for you in the end. Because I mean, you can go out and get a girlfriend, do the whole begging and stalking her, texting her 15 times a day, and she might break down and be your girlfriend. But like, see, that all started from the wrong beginning, because see, she's really kind of doing you a favor at this point because you chased her down and put the effort in and all this stuff. So you see, she's really leading it. You see what I'm saying? Like, so it's all starting from just a wrong foundation from the beginning. It's on that you can't fix it along the way, but from the start, it's just on a whole wrong foundation. And this is why, in my opinion, like if you do go that way, I would advocate you that she don't do to go hook up with her friends and stuff like that, to knock her ass down a few levels. You see what I'm saying? Like that's why I would advocate doing that. Because like when you start off on this whole texting her 15 times a day, hunting her down, she's in the lead. She's doing you the favor. You see what I'm saying? So at that point, the only way you can really win, you got to knock her down some steps. You know, hook up with her friends, or just cheat on her and leave her, just dump her like nothing happened. You have to do this. Like it sounds bad. It's gonna sound really bad, man. But like this is something. If you want a woman to genuinely respect you, like you got to do that. Because she's not gonna, if you're not doing that type of stuff, like she may hate you. Don't get me wrong, she'd be mad at you. Oh, she gonna hate you to high hell and cuss you out to all her friends and spread rumors and lies about you on social media. Oh, she'll do all that, but she's gonna respect you. You see what I'm saying? See, when women get on Facebook and all this stuff and they start typing, oh, I love my man, and blah, blah, blah. See, no, that's not right. that something's wrong. Okay, either women like that have low self-esteem, she figures the relationship is headed to an end and she's just on some childish last straw hope of holding on to one last man type of thing. That when women don't do that out of what a man's logic would be that a woman should do it in. It doesn't, like, whatever is gonna sound right to you initially as a man is usually means on a woman's side of things are super fucked up. Okay, like that's just how the logic works when you're dealing with women. Whenever she does something that your initial instinct tells you that's how it should be. Your initial, like, that 10-year-old you in your head of your dream girl, and she's doing that, like, that's when you should be on like red alert. Like something's wrong. It sounds messed up, but it's the truth. You know how many stories I heard, how many stories I've come, and how many times I did it. Like, man, women pay attention to this shit. Women will stay in abusive relationships for years. They will do that for years. Now, how many relationships will they stay in with the nice guy? You see what I'm saying? Like, do the math. Pay attention to what's going on. Like, see, because the nice guy, when a guy's a nice guy, he's doing things that's fulfilling his mentality, not hers, his. You see, and pay attention to how many nice guys like stay in relationships for a long period, and then pay attention to the whole thing, like the quality of the woman, the quality of the man, where they came from, where they were living at, all that, and factor in all that. So let's admit that, like, just pay attention. This is going on 30 minutes, but so if anybody's watching, thank you. But pay attention to the math of it. When they're being abused, they stay in relationships for years. Oh, I had 3 kids with him and blah blah. When they had 15,000 nice guys approach him every day, and then you see what I'm saying? Like, apply the logic to it. Maybe I should go more in depth on another video because I might just sound crazy at this point. But I'm gonna let you go. This is 30 minutes long. But yeah, thanks.